everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a bit of a sketchbook spread today. So I have been wanting to practice a little bit more in my sketchbook lately, and I have decided to do a whole sketchbook spread devoted to hairstyles. In my previous video, I did a painting of a beautiful lady, and when I was painting the hair, I just felt like I was a bit out of practice. And what's good for being out of practice? Well, practice. So I've got some references here from the website Pexels, not sponsored or anything. And we're going to pick one and we are going to do some hairstyles. Of course, I'm going to change things here and there, like with colors and stuff. And obviously I am trying to practice, but I also kind of want to make it my own as well. So for this first one, I've chosen to do a sort of curly updo, and this one is a little bit more fancy, a little bit more cute. So let's continue the sketch for this and see how it goes. So with my graphite pencil here, I am just roughing out the shapes of the curls on the back of this lady's head. And I'm not trying to draw every single strand. I'm kind of just trying to create sections where the hair is going in the same direction, and eventually it will form proper hair. Now that I have got this sketch done, we are going to lighten it up a little bit, and then I'm going to continue over the top with perhaps some color. So I'm using my Copic markers, as you can see here, and I've decided to change the color of this lady's hair, and I decided to make it sort of a reddy, orangey kind of color. So to begin, I'm actually starting off with not red or orange, I'm starting off with a light yellow color because I want to work towards from lightest to darkest, and I've chosen this as my highlight color. Now we've got most of that light yellow color filled in, and as you can see, I've actually layered it up quite a bit in some areas where I want to start to have some shadows. And now I am adding another layer over the top, and I'm not just doing like full block color this time, but I'm using a flicking motion with my marker to start, building up some depth and texture on this hair. So the next color I'm using is actually a brown, as you can see here, and I am doing basically the same thing that I did before, but I am doing it slightly less, and I'm letting some of those layers that are underneath show through. And I'm just concentrating the colors more where I want shadows to be, like from my reference. So I pretty much continued the same thing until I got a nice amount of depth, and then as you saw earlier, I added in a little bit of yellow to the highlights just to bring them back and make it all a little bit more saturated. Now as you can see, I have a pencil here and I am just going over some of my details, and I'm just adding in here and there some more shadows and building up some texture for the hair strands. Now I don't have to draw every single strand of hair, I am pretty much just alluding to the texture and adding in some shadows that those hair strands are going to cause. Let's continue this and see how it goes. So the hair looks pretty nice now, but I want to add in some more detail. As you can see here, I have a dark red marker, and I am just starting off some little shapes, and these are going to be flowers, because in my original reference there was some flowers in her hair, which I think looks really nice and cute. And obviously, since I changed the hair color, I kind of want to change the color of the flowers as well to make it more unique and different, and I decided with a dark red that would work really well with this hair color. So I think the first hairstyle turned out pretty nice, and now I'm moving on to the next one, and I've decided to do a more of a curly hairstyle where the hair is down and not pinned up. Now this time I'm going to experiment and see how it looks if I add in a little bit of shadow before I do the rest of the colors. So I've got a dark purple here, and I'm just adding it in places where there are the darkest shadows in my reference photo. Now I've decided to do this one purple. The reference photo isn't purple, but I kind of want to make this like sketchbook page nice and colorful. So I'm going to pick a lot of like unnatural but beautiful colors for the hair. I will do some natural colors though, just for variety. Anyways, let's continue this. So as you can see, I've added a lighter and slightly more pinkish purple over the top. And that darker purple has sort of lightened a little bit as I've added in the lighter color over the top. And that is to be expected with these markers, but that actually really helps for blending purposes. Now I'm just using that same dark purple over the top here, as you can see, and I'm just going in and adding in some little sort of curved flick motions, and these are going to start off the details for the curls of the hair. After I've done that, I am going over with some of my colored pencils. As you can see here, I have a dark purple, and I'm just basically doing the same thing, but with thinner shadows and more sharper details to build up the layers of the hair. So I think the purple curls turned out pretty nice. Now let's try something different. Let's try a teal braid. I think that this one could turn out really cool. So as you can see, I sketched it out and I've added some light colors, as you can see here. And now I'm basically doing the same thing as I did in the previous two with that flicking motion. And I'm just trying to practice getting the sort of like the direction of the hair right. And I'm trying to like make sure that it looks natural while still looking nice. And yeah. This braid is definitely taking a little bit more care than the previous two, because if even one hair is like in the wrong direction or at the wrong angle, the braid isn't going to look perfect and it's not gonna look like a braid, because with a braid hair is going in certain directions and it's very purposeful versus like curly flowing hair that can flow in any direction. So I'm just taking my time and trying to make this look nice. So here is the braid, and honestly it's not too bad. I do wish that the sides were a little bit more even. As you can see, the tufts of hair on the left side of the braid are a little bit smaller than the right side. So next time I will probably, try and concentrate on that a little bit and make the braids look a little bit more symmetrical. But for now, I am just going over with my pencils just as before, and you know the deal. Next up, I want to try experiment with braids again, and this time I want to do lots of little braids on someone's head and have a cute little bun on the top, and I think that it will look really cool. And I'm actually tempted to add in a little splash of color as well. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so I actually really love this one. I think it's probably the best one on the page so far, and I think the little braids just look so nice and a lot better than my previous braid. As you can see, I'm adding in a little bit of pink here to some of the braids, and I really don't want to smudge that pencil, so I'm just doing a bit of a dabbing motion to sort of dab that color into there instead of like a swiping motion that you would usually do with markers, because I don't want to smear those lovely little details. Okay, so next up we are doing some straight hair, and this will be a little bit more straightforward than the previous ones. I'm pretty much going to do a flicking motion and get some colors in there, and I think that this one will be really fun. And I was right, this one was pretty fun. I did a brown to blonde ombre sort of color, and I think it's turned out really cool and kind of like majestic and chic, the way the hair is just you know, spinning around and blowing in that direction. So I don't think we have much space left for like full heads of hair, but I still kind of feel like I need to practice sort of locks of hair and stuff. So as you can see here, I'm just drawing out a swirly shape of a lock of hair, and we're gonna fill this in and add some texture and stuff and see how it turns out. Any guesses for what color that this is going to be? Comment below. So who guessed pink? You would be correct. Pink hair, just like my own hair. Let's see how this pink hair turns out. Not too bad, I think, honestly, and I will admit that quite a few of my pink Copic markers are a little bit dry, so I kind of had to make do with what I had and use more pencils in this. But let's do another one on this side and see if we can do better, because this is practice after all. It doesn't have to be perfect as long as you keep practicing until you improve. And honestly, I think that the grey hair in the other corner did end up better than the pink hair. So yeah, that's good. So we only have a little bit of space down here. Now let's fill it in with something cute. I decided to draw a hair bow, like a bow that's made out of hair. And the thing that actually inspired me to do this was the singer Sia. So let's see how this turns out. And I think I'm gonna do the color for this blue. Lastly, I just want to go over a few of these hairstyles and just add some little touch-ups here and there, maybe some highlights, and you know, bring this whole thing together. So here is the final result, and honestly I had so much fun doing this sketchbook spread, and I feel like I got some good practice in. Now I actually decided to add in a little bit of washi tape and just a little bit of text off camera, just so that I could make this sketchbook spread look a little bit more finished looking and just nice with some washi tape, and I think it turned out pretty good. I'm definitely not amazing at practicing hair, and I don't pretend to be, but honestly I think that I did a good thing, and if I continue I will get better, just like everyone else. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this sketchbook video. Please comment below what you think of my art, and I shall give your comment a lovely heart, and hit that subscribe button to get your scribble fix in the future. And thank you all so much for watching, and I love you all, and stay safe out there, and I shall see you in my next video. Bye everyone.